Ladies and gentlemen, let me be straight with you today. Kill your laziness. You have work to do. You're sitting on talent, you're sitting on purpose, you're sitting on greatness, but you're too comfortable to activate it. That's the truth. You're not tired, you're just uninspired. You're not drained, you're distracted. Every excuse you give yourself is just your mind protecting your comfort zone. And let me tell you something. That comfort zone is killing your future. Laziness is a silent killer of potential and dreams. It doesn't crash into your life all at once like some catastrophic event. It creeps in quietly, unnoticed, disguised as rest, distraction, or the illusion of time. At first, it feels harmless to delay things, to hit the snooze button one more time, to tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, to scroll through your phone instead of writing that business plan or working on your craft. But over time, those little delays compound into massive detours. Laziness is deceptive. It pretends to be a break, but really, it's a trap. It makes you feel like you're preserving your energy when in reality, you're leaking your potential. It's not the heavy blows that destroy most dreams. It's the daily decision to not show up, to not push forward, to not take action. It's the quiet compromise that turns into a permanent condition. Every person walking this earth has potential. Every person has something within them that could change their lives and possibly change the world. But potential without effort is wasted breath. You can be talented, gifted, intelligent, even divinely called. But if you're lazy, none of it matters. The world doesn't respond to who you could be. It responds to who you choose to be. And choosing to be your best self starts with confronting and eliminating laziness. The problem is that laziness doesn't always look like failure. It wears disguises. It tells you that you need more time to prepare. It says you're not ready. It whispers that conditions aren't right or that you deserve to relax. And while rest is important, rest without purpose becomes indulgence. There's a difference between resting and avoiding. People avoid their purpose under the mask of self-care, not realizing that the best care you can give yourself is to pursue the calling on your life. Laziness doesn't yell at you. It softly sings you to sleep. And once you're asleep to your mission, your vision begins to rot. You stop dreaming. You stop trying. You settle into routines that feel safe but steal your growth. We often say we want success, but deep down we may not be willing to pay the price for it. That price is action. That price is discomfort. That price is getting up early or staying up later, sacrificing comfort for commitment. Laziness makes promises it can't keep. It tells you there will be a better time. It says you'll get serious after this weekend or next month or after your birthday. But next never comes, and you wake up one day realizing you've let too much time go by. But the worst thing about laziness isn't just the lost opportunity. It's the erosion of belief. The longer you stay inactive, the more you convince yourself that your dreams were never real in the first place. You begin to doubt your ability, your calling, even your worth. Laziness can be overcome, but it requires awareness and brutal honesty. You have to look in the mirror and call it what it is. You have to recognize when you're giving in to comfort at the expense of your calling. You have to become ruthless with your distractions and disciplined in your habits. Every day you have a choice. Feed your laziness or feed your future. One will grow, the other will die. You can't entertain both. The people who win in life are not the ones who always feel motivated. They're the ones who move even when they don't feel like it. They get up and grind even when no one's watching, even when the results aren't immediate. They understand that success is built in the dark before it's seen in the light. And they know that every excuse is just a brick in the wall between them and their destiny. Your goals won't work unless you do. This is the truth that most people ignore because it's not comfortable to hear. People love to dream, to visualize success, to talk about where they'll be 5 years from now, but very few are actually willing to put in the consistent daily effort that those dreams require. Having a goal is not enough. Writing it down on paper or speaking it out loud is just the first step. Goal is not a wish list, it's a commitment. And commitments require action. If you want to build something meaningful, you cannot rely on hope alone. You can have the clearest vision in your mind, the most detailed plan written out. But if you don't get up every single day and take steps toward it, that goal becomes nothing more than a fantasy. Work is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. There's no shortcut, no hack, no cheat code that can replace the grind. The universe rewards motion. You can't sit in place and expect momentum. Goals respond to effort, not to intention. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you work for. Too many people wait for the right time, the right energy, the right environment, but the truth is, the right time is always now. If you're not willing to work when it's uncomfortable, when you're tired, when you're unsure, then you're not really serious about your goal. The grind doesn't care about your feelings. Results don't come to those who are occasionally committed. They come to those who are relentlessly consistent. When people say they haven't reached their goals, they often blame distractions, bad luck, or other people. But the hard reality is that many times the only thing standing in the way is their lack of effort. You cannot microwave success. It's slow cooked through sacrifice, focus, and discipline. You don't stumble into achievement. You earn it through repetition, patience, and resilience. Every hour spent watching TV when you could be building, every morning slept in when you could be planning, every opportunity ignored because you didn't feel like trying, that's time you can't get back. Goals require grind. They require you to show up on the days when it feels pointless, when no one is clapping for you, when progress is invisible. Those days count the most. There's a lie that society tells that as long as you want something bad enough, it will eventually come. That's false. Wanting is cheap. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to do what it takes to get there. The ones who do, they treat every day like it matters. They don't just work when it's easy. They work especially when it's hard. They know that every repetition, every late night, every early morning, every bit of discomfort is currency they're investing in the life they want. They don't need someone to constantly motivate them. They are moved by purpose. They understand that results don't happen overnight, but they will happen if they stay committed long enough. You don't get credit for what you meant to do. The world doesn't pay you for your intentions. It pays you for your execution. You can talk all day about your vision board, your 5-year plan, your passion projects, but if you're not moving your feet, you're stuck in the same place. Execution separates the dreamers from the achievers. You have to move from thinking about it to being about it. Your goals are waiting, but they won't chase you. You have to chase them down. You have to outwork your excuses, outlast your setbacks, and outperform your doubt. The longer you wait to put in the work, the further away your dream gets. Every single action matters. Every step forward compounds. Every hour of focused effort adds weight to your goals and brings them closer to reality. Discipline is more valuable than motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's emotional. It's temporary. It's based on how you feel in the moment. One day you fired up after watching a video, reading a quote, or listening to someone's story, and the next day you wake up tired, uncertain, and back to old habits. Motivation is like a spark. It can start the fire, but it's not strong enough to keep it burning. What keeps the fire going is discipline. Discipline is the decision to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's the muscle that separates successful people from the ones who only start but never finish. Everyone starts off excited. Everyone makes plans and sets goals and talks big in the beginning. But few keep going when the mood fades and the process gets uncomfortable. That's where discipline steps in. It's not about being in the mood. It's about being in control. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never accomplish anything meaningful. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It shows up regardless. It tells you to get out of bed when you're tired. It tells you to stay focused when your mind wants to wander. It reminds you that your future depends on what you do now, not what you promise to do later. Discipline is the internal voice that says, I don't want to, but I must. And when that voice becomes stronger than your excuses, you start to see real progress. Motivation can get you to the gym one day, but discipline gets you there for 90 days straight. Motivation can help you start a project, but discipline helps you complete it, revise it, polish it, and deliver it when it's due. It's the daily grind, the small decisions, the boring repetitions that compound over time and build something extraordinary. The reason discipline is so powerful is because it builds character. It rewires your mindset from short-term pleasure to long-term purpose. It trains you to operate based on commitment, not convenience. A lot of people talk about wanting success, but they're addicted to comfort. Discipline breaks that addiction. It teaches you to choose what's right over what's easy. It doesn't mean you'll be perfect. You'll slip, you'll fall. But discipline is what gets you back up every time. It's what keeps you consistent when life throws distractions, stress, and disappointment your way. And make no mistake, life will test your consistency. There will be days when quitting feels easier. There will be moments when everything inside you says to give up. But if you've trained discipline, if you've made it a habit, you'll keep moving anyway. Discipline is freedom in disguise. Most people think discipline is a punishment. They see it as restriction, something that limits fun or kills creativity, but that's not true. Discipline creates freedom. It gives you the ability to build the life you want instead of being a slave to impulse, distraction, and delay. It gives you the freedom to look back without regret. It gives you the freedom to enjoy success because you earned it. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of your moods, and moods are unreliable. You can't build a legacy on how you feel. You can only build on what you do. And what you do over and over again becomes who you are. The good news is discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you can train like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Keep promises to yourself. Set goals and follow through even when nobody's watching. Push yourself just a little beyond your comfort zone every day. Over time, those small acts of self-control turn into a powerful force that drives everything you do. And eventually, you start waiting for motivation because you built something better. You built habits, consistency, and the mental toughness to keep going no matter what. Every second you waste today becomes regret tomorrow. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Once it's gone forever. People often think they have all the time in the world, but time doesn't wait for anyone. It moves whether you do or not. While you're procrastinating, doubting yourself, or choosing comfort over progress, the clock keeps ticking. Those minutes, hours, and days you casually throw away may seem small now, but they add up. One missed opportunity turns into a missed year. One excuse turns into a habit. Before you know it, you're looking back at all the things you could have done, should have started, or wish you would have finished, and all you're left with is regret. The truth is that time is a ruthless accountant. It keeps a perfect record of everything you do and everything you didn't. You can lie to other people about how hard you're trying, but time knows the truth. You can't fake effort to the clock. It records what you put in and gives you back what you earn. People think they're avoiding stress by putting things off, but what they're really doing is borrowing stress from the future. Every task delayed becomes heavier. Every responsibility ignored turns into a burden, and eventually the weight of everything you didn't do crashes down on you all at once. That's when the regret hits. You look around and realize you're behind, not because you weren't capable, but because you weren't consistent. You start comparing yourself to others and wondering why they're ahead, but deep down, you know the answer. They used their time wisely. They showed up when it wasn't fun. They worked while you waited. They pushed while you paused. And now you're staring at the results of your decisions. Regret is a heavy thing to carry. It doesn't go away overnight. It lingers. It shows up when you see someone else living the life you wanted. It speaks when you're alone, reminding you of the things you didn't start or finish. And the hardest part about regret is that it's completely preventable. You don't have to feel it if you act now. That's what makes wasted time so painful. You realize you had the power, the time, the tools, and the opportunity, but you chose not to move. You chose to wait, to doubt, to take the easy path. And now the price isn't just lost time, it's lost confidence, lost momentum, and sometimes lost belief in yourself. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking I'll do it later. That lie has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. Later turns into never. Someday turns into never. Every second you delay is a second you're giving away. Successful people don't just value time, they respect it. They know that each day is a limited resource. And once it's gone, it's not coming back. So they don't wait for the perfect mood or moment. They act. They know that imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. They understand that effort today leads to progress tomorrow. And inaction today leads to regret. The beautiful thing about time is that while you can't rewind it, you can redeem it. You can decide right now to stop wasting it. You can choose to make this moment count. Not next week, not next year, right now. Because every second you invest in your growth, your work, your calling, that's a second you don't have to regret. Time is the most honest currency you have. It will either pay you back with success or haunt you with regret, depending on how you spend it. Your future self is watching you, hoping you'll make the right choices today, so they don't have to live with the pain of what could have been. Comfort zones create average people, not greatness. When you stay in a place that's safe, familiar, and easy, you rob yourself of growth. The comfort zone is a trap disguised as peace. It convinces you that you're doing fine because nothing is challenging you, nothing is testing you, nothing is pushing you beyond what you already know. But the truth is, you cannot grow without discomfort. You cannot reach greatness by repeating what's easy. Everything extraordinary you admire in others, discipline, success, strength, skill, confidence, was forged through discomfort, pressure, and struggle. Average is created by people who seek convenience. Greatness is created by people who choose challenge. When you stay comfortable, you stay stagnant. You don't develop new skills, you don't break bad habits, and you don't unlock your true potential. You end up repeating the same routine, having the same conversations, and living the same year over and over, while calling it a life. The comfort zone feels good because it's predictable. You know what to expect. But predictability doesn't produce power. Risk does. Every major breakthrough in your life will require you to step into the unknown. That's a space where growth happens. That's a place where you find out what you're really made of. But to enter that space, you have to give up something. Your excuses, your routine, your false sense of security. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never dared to stretch themselves. They never pushed through the pain of growth. They never got uncomfortable enough to evolve. They lived cautiously, avoided mistakes, and ended up with regrets. Inside the comfort zone, your potential stays dormant. You might feel safe, but you're shrinking. You tell yourself stories to justify your limitations. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. I don't want to mess up. But those stories are lies. Lies that protect your comfort and kill your dreams. Every time you avoid discomfort, you reinforce fear, and fear becomes stronger the more you feed it. But when you face fear, when you challenge yourself, when you step out and take action despite uncertainty, that's when your confidence begins to grow. Not because the fear disappears, but because you prove to yourself that you're stronger than it. Comfort will keep you hidden. Discomfort will expose the strength you didn't know you had. People who do great things in life are not superhuman. They're simply willing to be uncomfortable more often than most. They're willing to wake up early, speak when it's scary, try when they might fail, work when they'd rather rest, and persist when they feel like giving up. They understand that growth and comfort cannot coexist. You can choose one, but not both. And the price of choosing comfort is always the same: unrealized potential. You might not feel it now, but one day, the pain of staying the same will outweigh the fear of change. One day, you'll realize that the cost of comfort was the life you never lived. And that moment can either break you or push you. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you do it anyway. It means you embrace the awkwardness, the failures, the uncertainty, and keep showing up. Because every time you step out, you grow. Every time you stretch yourself, you learn. And with every step, the comfort zone expands, not because it gets easier, but because you get stronger. If you want a better life, a bigger dream, a stronger mindset, then you have to be willing to break free from what's easy. You have to stop settling for average when greatness is within you. You have to choose progress over peace, purpose over comfort, and growth over routine. The journey will be hard, but so is staying stuck. You just have to decide which kind of hard you're willing to live with. The only thing standing between you and success is action. You can think all day, dream all night, plan for weeks, visualize your goals, speak affirmations, read books, and watch motivational videos, but none of it matters if you don't move. Success doesn't respond to thoughts. It responds to work. The world doesn't reward your potential. It rewards your execution. There are millions of people with big dreams and brilliant ideas, but very few who turn them into reality. The difference isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's action. You have to do the work. Not once, not occasionally, but consistently. That's how results are created. That's how progress is made. There's no shortcut around action, no replacement for effort. Everything you want is waiting, but it's not coming to you unless you start walking toward it. Most people are stuck not because they don't know what to do, but because they're afraid to do it. They overthink, they doubt, they wait for perfect timing, they hesitate, and then they wonder why nothing changes. Action is what breaks fear. Action is what builds confidence. Action is what transforms hope into momentum. You don't need more time to think. You need to act on what you already know. Every time you hesitate, you reinforce inaction. Every time you delay, you lose energy. But when you move, even in a small way, you create motion, and motion leads to clarity. You don't figure everything out before you begin. You figure it out while you move forward. The clarity comes from doing, not from thinking. You can read every strategy, analyze every option, and wait for every condition to be just right. But that wait becomes a trap. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect plan. Perfection is the enemy of execution. It gives you permission to keep preparing and never performing. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. Action breaks the cycle. One simple step today can shift your whole path. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing to take the next right step. That's it. Action fuels momentum. Momentum creates results. Results build belief. And belief drives you to keep going. There's no way around the work. Success is not reserved for the chosen few. It's reserved for the disciplined, the committed, the people who get up when it's hard, who push forward when it's uncomfortable, who show up when no one's watching, the ones who don't need applause to stay accountable, the people who keep moving forward when progress is slow, because they understand that even small progress is still progress. And that's what separates those who talk from those who build. You don't rise by talking about your dream. You rise by taking daily, consistent steps toward it. You don't need another year to get serious. You need one day of real action. One day where you shut down distractions, face your fears, ignore your doubts, and do the thing you've been avoiding. And once you do that, you'll feel something powerful, momentum. Not because everything is suddenly easy, but because you finally started. Success has never been about luck or magic. It's always been about action. Those who rise are those who move. Those who build the life they want are the ones who act when it's difficult, stay consistent when it's dull, and refuse to quit when it gets messy. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not as big as you think. It's a handful of decisions, a few courageous steps, and a lot of ordinary days filled with relentless action. You're not stuck because the dream is too far away. You're stuck because you haven't started. But the moment you take that first step, everything changes. You stop being a spectator in your own life and become the one shaping your future. The key is not waiting for the right feeling. It's deciding that no matter what, you'll move, you'll act, you'll do the work whether you feel like it or not. That's how you win.